Prova, prova. Si sente? Prova, prova, prova. Prova.
Eccoci qua, benvenuti a tutti, buon pomeriggio, grazie per essere intervenuti in questo incontro, devo dire che segna una pagina forse epocale per la città di Castellana.
Okay, thank you everybody for being here. First of all, I want to give you my special thanks for being here. And we're going to start with a page which can be considered a milestone of the story of the town.
Il mio personale benvenuto a tutti gli ospiti da parte della comunità di Castellana Grotte.
My personal welcoming to the people present here today, also from the entire community from the town of Castellana.
Alla mia sinistra il dottor Ugolini, responsabile attuativo del progetto AWARE.
At my left, we've got Dr. Ugolini, which is the, the coordinator. I apologize.
Alla mia destra invece il amico e collega sindaco Lopomo, ma che quest'oggi è in veste di componente del consiglio di amministrazione dell'azienda idrica pugliese.
At my right, we've got a colleague, because he's a major as well, but in this afternoon he's here as, you said, as
azienda idrica pugliese.
Okay, the Apulian Water Authority. Is the representation of the Apulian Water Authority.
Dottoressa Eugenia Rubino, l'interprete.
Trying to do my best.
Ok, allora sarò alquanto sintetico perché poi la parte tecnica gradirei che la sintetizzasse il dottor Ugolini. Per quello che riguarda noi siamo veramente felicissimi oggi di dare il via ufficialmente al progetto AWARE, quindi alla prima fattoria acquaponica che viene realizzata all'interno della Comunità Europea.
So I want to say that we are very happy and proud to be here today because it is the first aquaponic farm in Europe, and this means that it is a big result for our community.
8 nazioni hanno proposto la propria candidatura per la realizzazione di questo progetto pilota e quindi oggi poter presentare a voi, a nome della comunità di Castellana, il fatto che siamo stati prescelti, non possiamo negare che sia un motivo di grandissimo orgoglio.
So there were 8 nations who take part into this project, were candidated, and the community of Castellana and the partners has been chosen, and this is way to be very, very proud and happy about that.
Secondo aspetto a cui teniamo particolarmente è condividere questo orgoglio con tutti i soggetti che hanno reso possibile il conseguimento di questo risultato.
We want to share these important results with all the partners that take part into the project, and it is very, very important to share also with the community and with you this evening.
Penso a Innova, penso all'azienda idrica pugliese, penso ad Aquasoil, penso all'Università del Salento, penso a tutte quelle che sono le istituzioni che danno questo gran bel segnale che quando si coopera e si lavora insieme poi i risultati non tardano ad arrivare, perché la collegialità è sempre un valore aggiunto.
So I'm talking about the Aquasoil, I'm talking about the Apulian Authority, Water Apulian Authority, the University of Salento, and all the other partners, because doing a collegial work, it is very important, and it is a way to show how the cooperation can lead to important and significant results.
Altro aspetto importante è il fatto che Castellana sia stata prescelta e perché ha superato anche le prove di profilazione della qualità dell'acqua.
Okay, Castellana has also been chosen because our farm has overpassed all the tests about the quality of the water.
Quindi possiamo dire che quel magnifico stillicidio che in 90 milioni di anni ha costruito quella meraviglia che sono le grotte di Castellana
So we can say that water again, after millions of years, that the water drop by drop has shaped that marvelous enchanting place which is the Castellana Caves.
A distanza di solo 90 milioni di anni, oggi possiamo dire che l'acqua del nostro territorio è degna di poter creare il primo circolo a circuito chiuso continuo per la produzione di pesce e verdura.
So it's water again, actually, after that marvelous work that gave us the chance to build and to give the birth to the first innovative farm, which I lost the concept. Sorry. E che cosa fa?
Produzione di pesce e verdura.
So the water that will be able to produce fish and vegetables for human use. That's the very innovative aspect.
Sperimentazione che terminerà nel novembre 2026, progetto completamente finanziato dall'Unione Europea.
This experimental part will end in November 2026, and we want to underline that all the project has been completely financed by the European community.
E che confidiamo in futuro possa essere meta non solo dal punto di vista turistico, ma soprattutto anche dal punto di vista culturale e ambientale, se pensiamo magari alle gite di istruzione, dove potranno essere coinvolti tutti gli istituti scolastici italiani e non.
And we are quite confident that this innovative pilot farm can be also an attraction for the educational travels for students coming not only from Italy, but we really hope from the rest of Europe, because it is something very special to visit for students.
Rinnovandovi il saluto e confidando che vi troviate veramente a vostro agio per qualunque tipo di esigenza, noi siamo comunque qui a ogni tipo di disposizione. Noi adesso lasciamo la parola al mio amico collega nonché rappresentante dell'azienda idrica pugliese, il dottor Luca Lopomo. Grazie.
Grazie Sindaco, grazie Domi, buon pomeriggio a tutti e tutte. Con molti di voi ci siamo già salutati questa mattina presso l'acquedotto pugliese.
So good afternoon to everybody, and we have already met some of the presents. I have already met, so welcome again.
Porto i saluti del presidente dell'autorità idrica pugliese Toni Mattarelli e di tutto il consiglio direttivo, che è molto orgoglioso di questo progetto e ringrazia innanzitutto la comunità di Castellana Grosta nel suo sindaco, in tutta la sua amministrazione e tutti i partner di progetto.
So I want to give you also the welcoming of the president of the Apulian Water Authority, Mr.
Toni Mattarelli.
Toni Mattarella, and we want to thank the municipality of Castellana for hosting this project, and the community of Castellana as well, as you for being here, for your presence.
Dobbiamo essere orgogliosi tutti come pugliesi, ancora di più voi come castellanesi, esatto, per questo progetto così innovativo nel nostro territorio.
We must be very proud, not only as partners of the project, as people from Castellana, but everybody should be, the people involved in this project must be very proud, because it is very, very innovative.
Ed è anche un progetto in linea con i goal dell'Agenda 2030 e dei principi dell'Agenda dello sviluppo sostenibile.
Also because this project is perfectly in line with the goals of the Agenda 2030, and it is in perfect line with all the idea and of the environmental sustainable approach to business.
Voglio anche ringraziare la struttura tecnica dell'autorità idrica pugliese, che ha contribuito, nella persona dell'ingegner Rana e di tutti i suoi collaboratori, nella costruzione insieme all'unità del Salento, a Innova, Aquasoil alla costruzione di questo progetto.
So I also want to give my personal and not only personal thanks to the engineer, sorry for the name, Rana, which represents the technical team which supported the project with University of Salento, and all the other partners whose technical approach and make the difference in the leading of the project.
La grandezza di questo progetto è nel futuro che ci può mettere a disposizione, perché pensate a un futuro in cui noi con il risparmio del 90% dell'acqua possiamo garantire ai nostri agricoltori le produzioni di oggi.
So the real biggest value of the project is that it is leading us straight to the future, because with this reuse of the 90% of the water, we can ensure our farmer and cultivator
Possiamo risparmiare il 90% di acqua e garantire comunque la produzione agricola ai nostri agricoltori.
Okay, so we can make a reduction of the 90% of the use of natural water, and this means to ensure our cultivator the possibility to continue cultivating the land and giving the products.
Capite bene che con i cambiamenti climatici in corso, che sono sempre più evidenti e noi li possiamo toccare con mano, soprattutto noi nella nostra regione, questi risultati a distanza di qualche anno potranno veramente, come diceva il mio amico sindaco Domi, veramente essere una sperimentazione epocale per il futuro del nostro territorio.
So the change climate is a big problem, and you can easily understand how important is this kind of project under this aspect. And if we look forward in the next 4-5 years, it's easy to understand how this reuse, as this idea of sustainable cultivating can make the difference for the next generation.
E voglio concludere facendo ancora una volta i complimenti alla vostra comunità, perché in Puglia oggi esistono solo 6 impianti di riuso delle acque reflue.
So I want to finish my
fare i complimenti
I want to finish my speech making my best compliments to the community of Castellana, and underline that in Puglia there are just 6 plants of reusing of wastewater.
E proprio per questo è stato scelto Castellana Grotta, che è uno degli impianti più moderni e più importanti del territorio.
Castellana has been chosen because it is one of the biggest and most important plants of the land under this aspect, the biggest one.
Nei prossimi anni ce ne saranno tanti altri, si sta investendo la Regione Puglia, l'Acquedotto Pugliese, e noi come Autorità Idrica Pugliese stiamo contribuendo a questa realizzazione di oltre 80 nuovi impianti di riuso.
So in the next years we will see the growth of new plants of reuse water, more or less 80, and the Apulian authority is making a big investment in that sense, because it is very next to and supporting the birth of this new way to use and reuse water, which is the point, reuse.
Solo qualche anno fa questo non era possibile, perché ancora non c'era la necessaria fiducia da parte degli agricoltori nell'utilizzo delle acque reflue.
So if we look backward to some years ago, it was impossible to think about this kind of use and reuse of the water, because the farmers weren't so confident in this idea of using the water.
Oggi però la partnership con gli enti istituzionali, anche quelli di controllo, come ISPRA, come ARPA, come tutti gli enti deputati a dare questa fiducia, oltre alla fiducia maggiore dell'Acquedotto Pugliese e di tutti gli enti istituzionali, questo è possibile.
Now the landscape has changed because farmers and cultivators have a new approach, a faithful one approach, because of the presence of the institutional partners, just like, and not only the Apulian Authority, but also because of the presence of a lot of control institution, which can give their support in terms of reliable being. Okay.
Il compito di tutti quanti noi, istituzioni, cittadini, professionisti che operano in questo territorio e non solo, è continuare a comunicare e a far conoscere queste realtà che sono il futuro non solo per la Puglia, ma per l'Europa intera.
And our goal now is to be present on the territory and to keep on communicate the results, the projects, the way we are doing, because it is not just a matter of the future of this community, but also for Europe, the entire Europe.
E quindi, per concludere davvero definitivamente, proprio pensando all'Agenda 2030, è un esempio del goal numero 17, forse il più importante: partnership per obiettivi. Lavorare insieme dà questi risultati ed è una bella soddisfazione, un bel esempio di speranza per il futuro, quindi complimenti davvero a tutti.
So, coming back to the Agenda 2030, I want to focus on the goal number 17, whose aim is the cooperation. The cooperation is the strength, as the way to reach very important results, not only for all the partners involved, but for all the community. And when we say community, we are not talking about just a small part of the land, but environmental and global community. Thank you, everybody.
Prima di passare la parola al dottor Golini, un brevissimo grazie all'assessore all'ambiente Miriam La Montanara e all'ufficio ambiente per aver coadiuvato e espletato nei tempi necessari, in modo corretto, tutte quelle che sono le pratiche amministrative che poi ci hanno consentito di poterci mettere in linea con questo progetto. Grazie.
So the Major wants to thank Miriam La Montanara. She is the assessor, the person in charge of the political leading of the environmental office, and all the colleagues of their 3 girls over there, and the colleagues of the environmental office whose work gave us the possibility to realize this project in line, respecting the scheduled time, and to be here.
Io parto in italiano, poi switcho in inglese.
Bravissimo.
Ok, un attimo qua. Ok. Buonasera a tutti, anch'io parto con dei doverosi ringraziamenti al sindaco Domenico Ciliberti e al comune di Castellana Grotte per averci ospitarci, perché senza di loro non avremmo un sito pilota. Un ringraziamento all'autorità idrica pugliese, Luca Lopomo, Roberta Nana, Valentina Caporusso, perché senza di loro io non sarei sicuramente stato in grado, ma nessuno nel progetto sarebbe stato in grado di relazionarsi alle istituzioni. E concludo i ringraziamenti per la parte italiana.
Can I translate, or are you doing on your own?
Okay, no, I'm doing it. Well, I just thanked the mayor and the authority, but also would like to thank the gracious guests from the Joint Research Center. We are actually very thrilled to have you today. This is a big deal for the project. We really hope that what you see this afternoon at the field site is going to be interesting and also a little bit convincing on what we plan to do. So my name is Fabio Ugolini. I am just a project manager, and by chance, I am the coordinator of this project. I was actually one of the people who wrote the project in the first place, and I'm happy I see a lot of friendly faces today that I work with in order to do that. And I'm going to illustrate it to you a little bit so that you know what we are going to show you this afternoon.
Posso fare in italiano adesso, più facile.
As you wish. Or maybe I just go ahead. So, yes, so we have been saying that this is the first aquaponic farm in Europe. This is not entirely correct. We have other aquaponic farms in Europe. It's not really an established reality, but it's there. This is, though, the first aquaponic farm that uses reclaimed water. There is no such a reality in Europe at the moment. They tried to do something similar at the beginning of the 20th century in Germany, but it didn't work out. There are, in other parts of the world, there are situations where reclaimed water is used for aquaculture, but we are talking of a situation where, let's say, the systems are not held to the quality standards that are expected in the European Union. So this is a unique case. It's a pilot, and what we're going to demonstrate with this pilot is hopefully paving the way for a new way to do aquaculture from reclaimed water. So I apologize, I need slides. Years of presenting left me unable to have a normal conversation with anybody without PowerPoint slides. Even when I explain things to my mom, I need a PowerPoint. But I'm going to go fast through it because I really want everybody to have another coffee and then go to the field side. Okay, so the project, we presented it 2 years ago. There was this European call, which is aimed at strengthening the aquaculture capacity in Europe. But the nature of the project links it very strongly with everything that has to do with water reuse as well. So we are contributing to the objectives of the Farm to Fork strategy, which are the objectives that you've heard everywhere about sustainability, low impact on natural resources, access to nutrition and health, and affordability, and so on. The necessity exists because we want more protein in Europe. We want this protein to be more sustainable, and fish farming is one of the ways we have to have sustainable protein or more sustainable protein. So Europe wants more fish, and we came up with this project idea. Again, most of the fish in Europe is obtained by wild catches, so fishing in the ocean prevalently. But we have some capacity for aquaculture that provides for roughly 30% of the fish demand in Europe. We want to go higher. Just as a reference, like in the world, you got every year 92 tons of fish, which is made by aquaculture, 126 which are made by wild catches. In Europe, the trend is inverted. You have more fish coming from wild catches and less from aquaculture. In Italy, we got 50-50, but we're cheating because the majority of the fish products that are farmed in Italy are mollusks, which have the shell. The shell is heavy, so it brings up the figure. Well, the take-home message is that we want to farm more fish because it's more sustainable to do so. There are some barriers to aquaculture. One of these barriers is actually the regulations, which I'm going to talk about tomorrow at the JRC meeting. So I'm not going too much into it today yet. Now in Europe, most of aquaculture is done through intensive system that uses tanks and raceways. We also have pond system, which are these nicer to see semi-natural lakes with fish living in it. And we have a 2% of recirculation system. Recirculation system, they use the same water all over again. And what we are doing in Aware, here in Castellana, it's a recirculation system that uses aquaponics. So aquaponics is the combination between hydroponics and aquaculture. So you have vegetables that are growing without soil, and then you have fishes living in the water where the vegetables are growing. So it's a balanced system. The vegetables are cleaning the water, and the fishes are eutrophying it by releasing with their metabolism new nutrients.
Sorry to interrupt you. Can we make a little summary in Italian as well for those present?
Certo, l'acquaponica è la combinazione tra idroponica e acquacultura, in cui ci sono le piante che crescono senza suolo, quindi con le radici direttamente nell'acqua, e i pesci che nuotano felici nell'acqua. Quindi le piante assorbono i nutrienti che i pesci rilasciano col loro metabolismo, e i pesci si trovano l'acqua pulita e quindi sono più contenti. Questa è l'acquaponica. Yeah, the system presents considerable advantages. The main one that you're looking at here in Puglia is the water conservation. It needs very little water. But what we want to do in the project, we want to introduce the aquaponics loop within the wastewater treatment loop. So the water that gets into the aquaponics system is reclaimed water. So it's a loop within a loop, essentially. And if we do that, we can have additional advantages compared to the, I'll say, traditional aquaponics. So we are in a situation where we have a lot of water, so we are resilient to water scarcity. The farm is within a wastewater treatment plant that normally wouldn't be used for production, so it gives an added value to a location that it could be more exploited than it is now. I wrote, this is funny, I had this conversation today. I wrote here that we can exploit the residual heat of the system to warm up the water, but what we are actually doing, we are using the system to cool down the water because it's so hot in here. I don't know if you've been outside today, but it's crazy. And then, yeah, well, we have nutrients in the reclaimed wastewater that we might find a way to tap. We are not yet quite there, but the nutrients are there. So you're going to see today we have the wastewater treatment plant of Castellana, which has all, it's a large facility. It has all the water treatment steps, primary, secondary, and tertiary. And then in the end, we built our pilot aquaponic farm within a geodetic dome. And okay, it's going to be beautiful. Well, maybe I just go very quickly through this slide. The concept of circularity starts from the community, in our case, Castellana Grotte. It has a municipal wastewater that goes to the wastewater treatment plant. In the wastewater treatment plant, the water is already treated up to tertiary treatment, and then it's collected in reservoirs before it's going to be discharged in the water table. We are connecting to the already existing wastewater treatment train a quaternary treatment system that our partner Aquasoil, that you will know today, is a master of. So with the quaternary system, we are actually removing from the water all those contaminants of emerging concern that might be still there. And then the water goes in the aquaponic farm. And in the aquaponic farm now we have an experimental system that has 3 different lines that are going in parallel. 2 of the lines are fed with reclaimed water, and the 3rd line is fed with drinking water, and we use it as a control. We are growing tilapia and iceberg lettuce. How many people have eaten tilapia so far? Yeah, what is it? Good question. So anybody who does aquaponics, of course, know tilapia because it's one of the most established species. It's one of the most eaten fishes in the world. Africa, Asia, and United States, they eat tilapia a lot. It's not eaten in Europe.
Is there a way to translate in Italian? Tilapia?
No, si chiama tilapia sempre.
È un pesce.
Un pesce la tilapia. Solo che...
The question is, buono.
Io l'ho provato e mi è piaciuto, è un pesce di acqua dolce, quindi ha il sapore, deve piacere il pesce di acqua dolce. Luca asked me if it tastes good, and in my opinion it tastes, it's a freshwater. Oh, you should try the one Federica. Are you inviting us for dinner? Yes. Okay, well, moving ahead. So we have the aquaponics system within the wastewater treatment plant, and we are producing the tilapia and the vegetables, and then we want to feed it to people. And actually in the project we have feeding trials, because the ultimate objective of the project is to demonstrate that this fish is equivalent, and the vegetables as well, are equivalent to what is farmed traditionally, both from a toxicological and quality point of view, but also in the way that these products are perceived by the end consumer. So we have feeding tests in the project, and also we have a study of the policy and regulations, because we are doing here something that in the best of cases, it's in a gray zone of what is allowed to do, and in the worst case, it's outward. It's just outlaw. So, study of the regulations, it's extremely important. And then, well, the fish and the vegetables, they go back to the community, and the cycle repeats itself. Yeah, we're studying the transferability of the system in region that might be experiencing water scarcity. Aquaponics works very well in this situation. Yeah, those are some numbers about the system that you're going to see today. It's going to be 3 small lines. It's just an experimental system. So in 1 year, with 9 cubic meters of water, overall is going to produce 75 kilograms of tilapia and 300 kilograms of lettuce that are going to be used just for experimental reason. If the system works well, then we are going to upscale it in a larger plant that is going to produce enough fish and vegetables for the human feeding trials. And if everything is validated in the end, this might become a productive reality and an educational facility for everybody who's interested in studying water reuse in aquaponics. A few pictures, but you're going to see the real deal today. So Professor Di San Sebastiano is going to tell you later. We put the fishes and the vegetables in the system in August. So this is the first growth cycle. So don't expect a forest of lettuce. It's not going to look like that. We're just getting the system going. But Professor Di San Sebastiano is going to explain this part much better than I do. Yeah, we are 20 partners, 20 beneficiaries and associated partners in the European consortium that presented the project. And we are all experts in different fields, but you know how European projects work, and yeah, from several different countries. But again, we have a strategic partnership with the municipality of Castellana Grotte and Acquedotto Pugliese as well, because it wouldn't really be possible to have the system here without their support. And yeah, check us on the website, come to me with questions. We have our communication manager, Susan Nguyen, sitting over there. So, but we're going to have the chance to talk today, I'm sure. And this is it. Thank you.
It's not necessary. It's not necessary.
Che facciamo?
Se ci sono delle domande,
the maker of the town, the president of the
Li avrete quando andremo a vedere il sito.
Ok.
Professore, vuole intervenire? Sicuro?
Sarà protagonista all'ASA.
Voce per la meditazione. I saved my voice for the visit of the site.
Molto saggio. Dalle parti nostre i nostri anziani dicevano conserva lo spirito per quando serve, no? Non sprecarlo tutto in un'occasione. E credo che possiamo...
So I think we can move and we're going to visit the site. So so we will have the opportunity to visit it and to ask everything to the people involved in the project.
Eugenia, c'è un coffee break per chi lo desiderasse qui all'uscita e poi possiamo avviarci.
Okay, of course, there's the possibility to have a coffee. We're in Italy, so that's absolutely normal to have a coffee in a quick coffee break.
Quick coffee break.
And then we have to move to visit the site.
E al termine poi ovviamente della visita alla fattoria acquaponica è prevista per tutti gli ospiti una visita alle grotte di Castellana.
Of course, at the end of the visit of the site, we are going to visit another marvelous site, which is the cave of Castellana's caves, and you will be much more than wow impressed.
Grazie ancora.
Thank you, everybody.